Yo! What's going on, everybody? You're watching Knicks Now by Chat Sports. I am your host, Marshall Green. And man, do we have a lot to talk about as I think we're less than a month away from New York Knicks basketball returning in the preseason. First game, October 22nd. We are 1 month and 5 days away from the New York Knicks taking on the Boston Celtics on opening night of the 2024 NBA season. We got a lot to talk about, though, on today's video. We're going to do an in-depth show on Deuce McBride and why I believe he could be the X-Factor and a guy that could raise the ceiling for this basketball team. And then we've also got a video where we're going to talk about what Tom Thibodeau talked about today. Thibodeau did a sit-down interview with NBA.com, and he revealed the Knicks' plan for the center position, and it does include Julius Randle. I want to hear from everybody watching the show, though, first, as we give everybody a chance to join the live video. If you haven't yet, please hit that thumbs up icon. Easiest way to support the show. My question to you is this before we get rolling on today's topics. 53.5 wins for the New York Knicks. Type O for over, type U for under. I want to hear from everybody in the building. My guy, Michael Vasquez. What's up, Brody? Hope you're having a good summer, my man. Appreciate everybody stopping by. Knicks Galaxy, Ty Man the Buckeye, Lord Buddy Bear, Hartford County Audit, Ty Johnson, Ty Man the Buckeye hanging out. Justin says, I was just watching one of your Knicks videos. Now you're live, Marsh. Let's go, Knicks. Shout out to Justin. Vasquez says, yeah. What's up, buddy? Luis, my man Luis. What's up, man? Long time no see. Hope everybody's well. Shout out to Walter. Shout out to Mark Clark. My man Kenya, the big one, not the little one. Shout out to Kenya. That's my dog right there. I'm glad you got to go to the game on Sunday, man. But Mr. Kenya, we got to admit, it is time to make some changes. I'm glad you got to see a lot of field goals, though. I'm really glad you got to do that. I'm sure you're really appreciative of that. Jonathan Martinez says, let's go, Knicks. Jermaine, Mo Brown, Mo Betta said, what up, King? Nah, what's up, bro? That's you. Kenya says, yes, sir. What's up, Jermaine? Hanging in there, bro. Appreciate you tuning in. Look, I'm taking the over on this. I'm the only way the Knicks win less than 53.5 games is if the injury bug comes back and bites them again. I'm hoping that does not happen, as the Knicks had enough injuries last year to last them a lifetime. Joey DeLuca coming in with the first super chat of the day. Joey, you're setting the table. You always do. You're like Rondo, man. You're just doing it for everybody else. Just setting the table, dime here, dime there. And all you do is get dimes. I've seen you get freaky in the chat before, Joey DeLuca. We appreciate you, man. Shout out to everybody in the building. 81 people watching. If you could, hit that thumbs up icon. Smitty, what's up, man? Happy Tuesday.
Happy Tuesday. I love that Rondo reference. I felt like that was a good time for me to jump in to today's show. Dime dropping delight, Rajon Rondo.
Does it make me less of a New York Knicks fan if I say Rajon Rondo is one of my favorite players of all time? From the on-court swag to just the way he played the game. Remember when he broke the elbow and he still had like a 30-point trip-double? He was unbelievable.
Yeah, he was fantastic. And to be quite frank, as a Celtics fan myself, as you guys know in the chat, Rajon Rondo, his prime during the Celtics days, the Knicks weren't fantastic. They had that 1 year of glory
where we did beat you in the playoffs.
Where they did beat the Boston Celtics.
Don't forget that one.
Ended Paul Pierce and Kevin Garnett's tenure as Boston Celtics. Yes, I'm aware. Mellow dagger, right elbow. I still have nightmares. But Rondo, he was a dog.
If you're a basketball purist, you just love Rajon Rondo's game. One of the highest basketball IQs we've ever seen. I got a lot of love for Rondo. I always thought he was going to be a coach in this league, but I feel like some off-the-court stuff has gotten in the way of that, unfortunately.
He's getting in his own way there, but
he's hanging out with Campaign a little bit too much.
can't be hanging out with Campaign.
Shout out to my boy CP. Jonathan in the chat. What up, Jonathan? What's up? Nick Mick. All right, what's up? He said, got to be at least 60 wins. At least 60 wins would be crazy. Ty Man the Buckeye showing Smitty some love. Jonathan says, I knew Marshall had a jump shot. Ask Seeps. I got him buckets. Buckets.
Boom.
John Pettit in the building. What's up, Mr. Pettit? Good to see you, my man. How we doing? Mr. John? What up? I'm about ready to get into this. But we got 95 people watching, only 29 likes. Those are rookie numbers. I need everybody to hit that thumbs up icon. How about once we get to 50 likes on today's show, we'll talk about what Tom Thibodeau said about the center rotation. We'll talk about what I've got to show you about Deuce McBride and why I believe he's only going to get better and better. And the Knicks, as we know, are going to need him to be a good basketball player this year. Hit that thumbs up icon if you're ready for the show. And if you have liked the video, type NYK in the chat. Type NYK in the chat. My guy Sherwin, there's one thing I love about Mr. Sherwin. We never agree. But he always comes back. He's always respectful. And he's always going to share his takes in the chat. And that is something that I can respect, Sherwin. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. Says, good evening, all. Please, fellows, if you know basketball, you will not say Randle playing the center. Randle is one of the best man-on-man defenders and one of the worst help defenders. He can't play the 5. Thing is, Sherwin, I'm no longer saying it. I told you it's going to happen. That's why you subscribe. But Smitty, you saw it. Tom Thibodeau said he's going to do it.
Tom Thibodeau said he's going to do it. And listen,
I'll believe it when I see it.
That is true. And another thing, like if Tom Thibodeau thinks it's going to work, you gotta see him through, right? He's done so much for this Knicks team at this point to where you have to take his word as the Bible here if you're a Knicks fan. And if he wants to put Julius Randle at the 5 for a couple minutes a game, then so be it. I don't know if I agree with it, but again, like Marsh said, we'll wait and see if it actually ends up materializing.
I agree, man. Look, there are a lot of pros. There are also a lot of cons to Julius Randle playing the center position. It's interesting. I like to see it in October and November, and if it's a dud, you move on. But I don't mind the idea of it, especially with a guy like OG on your team as well, who is the ultimate chess piece.
But that's the thing, though. Like, if you, to Sherwin's point, Julius Randle is not a great help defender. So why don't you think about maybe even putting OG at that kind of roamer center spot defensively if
I don't
you really
hate that.
want something like that?
I don't hate that. I also don't love the idea of Randle now coming off 2 major injuries, having to bang with big guys every single game.
Pretty much. Jonathan Figueroa, I won't. I'll cede from my Celtics talk on this live stream. I'll cater, I'll pander to you Knicks fans as you chase my championship glory.
Did you wake up a champion today?
Every damn day.
This will tell me where your head is. When the NBA season starts, are you still a champion?
No. Because
Okay.
we're on
right answer. Because if you said yes, then that would be pathetic.
Because we're on to the repeat.
Okay. Potentially.
We'll see you. Well, all right. Listen, I'll see you in May.
Yeah, we'll see you in the conference finals. We'll see you in the conference finals. All righty, we're at 42 likes. If you haven't yet, hit that thumbs up icon and let's dive into it, man. Let's dive into it.
All right.
Giants Realist says OG will be the 5 on defense and Randle the 5 on offense. I think you're on to some. John Pettit says, I don't mind trying it. I'm with you. Sam Jackson says, New York forever. Forever, ever. Sherwin says, Will, he's not a good man-on-man defender either. LOL, he's the second best at his position in the NBA. Sherwin, I love your dedication to the defense of Julius Randle. I hope I find a lady in my life that defends me like you defend Julius Randle one day. Because, man, that would be ride or die. All righty, Tom Thibodeau. He spoke to NBA.com about what the Knicks are going to do at center. Let's unpack that here on today's show. Hit that thumbs up icon. Be a real one. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Tom Thibodeau has revealed his plan for the 2024 NBA season when it comes to the center position. As we know, Isaiah Hartenstein no longer on this team. The Knicks really haven't done anything to replace him, but it sounds like Tom Thibodeau has a plan up his sleeve. My question to you, though, before we dive into this, we've got quotes, we've got thoughts, and we've got analysis. What is your confidence level in the centers on the Knicks roster right now? Scale it for me from 1 to 10. 1 being you got all the confidence, and 1 being no confidence, 10 being all the confidence in the world. Let me know your thoughts down below. You're watching Knicks Now by Chat Sports. I am your host, Marshall Green. I appreciate everybody for stopping by as we are less than a month away from preseason basketball being back, and we're a month and 4 days away from the Knicks taking on the Boston Celtics. But the reason for today's video is Tom Thibodeau did a sit-down interview with NBA.com, and he revealed his plan for how the Knicks are going to attack the center position. Unfortunately, Isaiah Hartenstein did leave the New York Knicks to go sign with the Oklahoma City Thunder. Thanks to the CBA for the really BS rules that they have on the early bird rights versus bird rights nonsense. Knicks weren't able to pay him as much money as he wanted, even though he really found himself in his NBA career with the Knicks. The Knicks should benefit from bringing a guy in on an $8 million salary, and 3 years later, he's turning into a $30 million player. But you know what? The NBA, they didn't think that one all the way through. The Knicks players at the center position on the depth chart right now include Mitchell Robinson, Pritchard, who's really a 4, but I'm going to include him as a center because I think that's where he'll get the most of his work this year. And you got Jericho Sims. There's been a lot of people saying this is the year that Jericho Sims takes the leap. It was Deuce McBride last year. It was Hartenstein the year before. They're saying this is the year of Jericho. With all respect in the world to Mr. Sims, I will believe it when I see it. Look, you know, I know that the Knicks know that the center spot is weak. Like if you could turn injuries off and you guarantee me that Robinson will play 60-plus games and that he's going to be available for the playoffs, I feel confident in that. But I don't feel confident that he will do so. The question that we've talked about time and time again on this show is, could we see Julius Randle play some small ball 5 for the Knicks this year for certain stretches? No, Julius Randle is not going to be your starting center. I'm not sure he'll play more than 10 minutes per game at that center spot. But I thought it was really interesting, the answer that Tom Thibodeau gave to NBA.com when they asked him, what's the plan at the center spot with iHeart no longer in the fold? This is what Thibs said. We could see Julius more at the 5. I don't want to do that for long stretches. It would take its toll. But to have him do it for 10 or 15 minutes, I think he could do it well. He would also create a lot of offensive advantages. Look, call me surprised, because in the videos that we've done on this topic before, I felt as if Tom Thibodeau would not do it, because the DNA, the basketball ideology that runs through the head of Tom Thibodeau is offensive and defensive rebounding, controlling the glass, and putting a lot on the plate when it comes to defensive responsibilities of his centers. Look at Joakim Noah. Look at Mitchell Robinson. And look at Isaiah Hartenstein. All of them have been the quarterback of the defense. That's what you are when you are the center for a Tom Thibodeau team. And look, we know that Julius Randle is an average defender. We know he's not a great rim protector. And Thibs knows Randle can't play a lot at center. But the thing that stuck out to me the most was Thibs talked about the offensive advantages that it would create with Randle at center. And it absolutely would. You would have a wide open court. And imagine if your closing lineup was something along the lines of Jalen Brunson, Mikal Bridges, Josh Hart, OG Anunoby, and Julius Randle. I included Josh Hart over a guy like DiVincenzo because Josh Hart's going to give you more size. Josh Hart is going to give you more improvement on the margins. He's a bigger body. He can play bigger than the size that he is, and he can attack the glass on both sides of the floor. And I think if Thibodeau is going to sacrifice rebounding by taking out Robinson or taking out Achua, he wants to replace that in some sort of way with Josh Hart on the floor. That could easily be DiVincenzo. It could. Whether it's Hart or DiVincenzo, though, with that closing lineup, you have 5 weapons on offense at one time. You can play a true 5-out offense for the first time under a Tom Thibodeau-led Knicks team. Imagine the center guarding Julius Randle. Randle's out on the perimeter, and you've got a wide-open lane for Jalen Brunson to cook. You've got a wide-open lane for OG Anunoby to attack off a catch-and-shoot spot. You got Mikal Bridges working in the mid-range with no help on that center spot. The ability to stretch the floor will open up this offense. That's really what the best teams in the NBA do. They have multiple styles they can play, but all of them have that 5-out offense. Look at the Boston Celtics. Look at the Dallas Mavericks. Look at the Oklahoma City Thunder. Look at the Denver Nuggets. They can do it with them. Even Joel Embiid, they can do it. When you have 5 threats to score the basketball at one time, you are going to put a lot of pressure on opposing teams. And when your center can get you 25, 10, and 5 like Julius Randle and everyone else can score and shoot, it's going to be tough for other teams to stop. My question to you before we continue to dive into this conversation is this. Do you want to see Julius at the 5 this season? There are definite pros and there are definite cons. One of the pros, 5-out on offense. Offensive juggernaut. The other thing, we'll talk about in a second, why for yes and for no. When it comes to the cons of Julius Randle playing that center position, I do worry about the lack of rim protection. Because at the end of the day, you are, I'm not going to say small, but you're not a big team either with Julius Randle at the 5 at 6'8", and OG at the 4 at 6'8", and Mikal Bridges at the 3 at 6'6", and DiVincenzo or Josh Hart at 6'3" and 6'5" at the 2, and a small Jalen Brunson. your defense would take a hit. But I think that when you have the wing defenders that you do in Hart, in OG, and Bridges, it can kind of take some of the pressure off of the need for a rim protector. And I honestly believe, and we've kind of heard the Knicks hint at this, that OG would guard the scoring centers. We saw that. I don't remember if it was Game 4 or Game 5. I believe it was Game 4 against the Philadelphia 76ers in the first round of the 2024 playoffs. OG Anunoby was the one guarding Joel Embiid in that fourth quarter. And we've heard that Thibodeau thinks OG can do everything on defense, including playing that center position. I like the idea of OG being that elite help defender, but you don't play too many centers in this league that are just going to dominate you. And obviously, if you play a Denver Nuggets or you play a Philadelphia 76ers, that's probably not the game you're going to have Randle play that 5 spot. What about the Boston Celtics when they go Al Horford at the 5 and KP's hurt? That's a pretty dang good matchup, and it's very intriguing to see how the Boston Celtics would respond to that. Coming up in a second, we'll talk about that and more. But first, I got to give a major shout out to today's sponsor, Game Time. If you're looking for last-minute tickets to go to an NFL game this season, or you want to get your tickets for the Knicks season this year, download the Game Time app and use the promo code ChatSports and get $20 off your first purchase. I love Game Time. It's the only ticketing app that I use. You get to access your tickets from your phone. You get the lowest price guaranteed, and prices actually drop as the events get closer, and you get views from the seats. Make sure you also take advantage of these two specials and offers that they have and features that they have. All in pricing. That way the price you see is the price you pay, and the Game Time picks one as well. It personalizes your feed to where you only see your favorite teams, your favorite artists, your favorite bands, making it that much more easy to go see your favorite people perform. Download the Game Time app. Create an account. Use the promo code ChatSports, CHATSPORTS, for $20 off your first purchase. What time is it? Game time. Download the app. Support the show. Support the sponsor. One thing that a lot of people, myself included, that have critiqued Tom Thibodeau is his lack of change, his lack of evolving, not being a part of the modern day basketball and using the formula that other teams have created to win games at a high level in the modern day. But Tom Thibodeau is evolving, and it's not just on defense. It's on offense as well. He said this to NBA.com. I thought it was really interesting. I think the league overall has shifted. Your 2s, 3s, and 4s are more wing-oriented now. Guys who can guard 4 positions. Or in some cases, we've got guys who can guard all 5. Allow you to do a lot more switching. And if there's a rebounding component to that, you're not sacrificing your defense. You're turning your opponent into more of an isolation type of team where they're working against the clock and settling, hopefully, for long mid-range jumpers. Maybe old dogs do learn new tricks. Maybe we won't have to see everybody fighting over screens and we're switching. Because that's how you're going to beat the Boston Celtics. That's why you went out and you got an OG Anunoby. That's why you went out and got a Mikal Bridges. That's why you traded for Josh Hart 2 years ago. To have the ability to have game wreckers on defense that can switch every single spot. OG can guard every position on the floor. Mikal Bridges can guard most 1 through 4s. You got Josh Hart. This dude plays every single position on the basketball floor. And when you go up against Boston, who you are preparing to play in the most pivotal series, potentially, since 1999, you need OG Anunoby and you need Mikal Bridges in the hip pocket of Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown every single game. They're elite defenders. Basketball Index have graded them out year over year as 2 of the best wing defenders, specifically in the ISO situations. What did Tom Thibodeau say? We want you to hunt switches because we have switchability on defense, and we want you to try to work in ISO situations with the shot clock coming down, taking deep mid-range jumpers. How do you do that? You get 2 of the better ISO defenders in the league. The Knicks, they've got those guys. This defense can be scary, ladies and gentlemen. We didn't get, I think, the full experience of OG Anunoby due to the injuries and him coming over late into the season. But now he's got a training camp or will have a training camp under his belt, learning how Tom Thibodeau wants to play defense. Same with Mikal Bridges. And I think Julius Randle is going to be more motivated than ever to contribute on the defensive side of the ball. because we don't really need Julius Randle out there if he's not going to play defense. He knows he has to, and he said he's going to do whatever it takes to win games. I'll believe that when I see it. Look, I think Thibs deserves a lot of credit for how he continues to evolve his game. Like, what he was looked at and defined as the coach of the Chicago Bulls, the only thing that's really carried over, in my opinion, is the defensive and toughness mindset. This is a completely different offense that they've run. They're shooting more threes than they ever did with Chicago. And on defense, he's showing you that he's willing to play Julius Randle at the 5. He is a different coach than when he first took this job. It was rough. It was rugged. It was my way or the highway. And now he's got a guy in Jalen Brunson who I think he respects enough to listen to. And this might be the first time in his career that he's listened to the players this much. I mean, this team was built for Tom Thibodeau. You got your general. You got your quarterback. You got your point guard, Jalen Brunson. You have your 2 pass-rushing, game-wrecking edges in Mikal Bridges and OG Anunoby. You've got your bully ball 4, that if you want to play that ISO game, Randle can do that just as good as any other power forward in this league. You've got a 2-way monster on the glass in Mitchell Robinson. You've got a veteran point guard in campaign. You've got a demon from both sides of the floor, especially from deep, in DiVincenzo off the bench. You've got Josh Hart. Like, if Tom Thibodeau could create a my player, it would be Josh Hart. Every single piece that Tom Thibodeau could ever want an NBA team is on this roster. And it's nice to see that he's willing to do things that take him out of his comfort zone and show that he has grown to help this team reach their maximum potential. I don't think Randle needs to play all the time at the center. I'd like 5 to 10 minutes. I think it could be very advantageous for this ball club. 53.5 wins for the Knicks this year. That's what the line in Las Vegas has been set at. What do you think? Over? Under? I want to hear from everybody in the chat. And if you haven't yet, please, please, please give me a follow on social media. As the Knicks season gets closer and closer, I'm going to be doing way more content on Twitter and way more content on Instagram. Give me a follow at @MarshallGreen_. And let's go Knicks! Smitty, are you a little worried that Al Horford may have to guard Julius Randle on the perimeter with no Kristaps Porzingis?
Al Horford, I'll tell you what. He's
a good player.
He's slowly becoming more disrespected than his own teammate Jason Tatum is.
Al Horford.
He's being disrespected.
Al Horford cannot stay in front of Julius Randle. This isn't Greek Freak where he just has to run through your chest. This isn't Joel Embiid where he can't do anything unless he's getting a foul. This is 25, 10, and 5 Randle.
Randle has a bag. Randle has a great face-up. He's one of the best face-up bigs in the league, if you can classify him as big. Like, he is one of the best at that game.
And then what if, because as you know, because you're a hoop head, 2 of the most double-team players in the NBA reside on the Knicks, Jalen Brunson and Julius Randle.
Yep.
How do you...
Well, now, dissecting that a little bit, the only reason that's the case is because you don't have more off-the-dribble scoring threats, and you got one this offseason. So we'll see if they're still two of the most double-team players in the league.
How are you going to stop a Julius Randle drive with no rim protector on the weak side to help? Boom.
What do you mean? You're assuming that we're not going to have Kristaps Porzingis.
He's guarding on the perimeter. We're going 5 out.
He is one of the best help defenders in the league.
He'll be guarding someone on the perimeter, shooting 40% from the corner. Can't help off him.
Oh, stop it.
You told me all we got is corner boys. We're going to corner boy here, Randle and Brunson at the top, and we're going to have DiVincenzo and Hart roaming the top.
Listen, the scoring well will dry up.
Oh,
eventually.
Stop it.
It will.
It ain't going dry
up.
this year.
It's going dry eventually. You're going to need somebody to give you a little
Jalen Brunson.
Jalen Brunson, that's fine. That's fine. We know that.
Julius Randle, you didn't see him last year, 25, 10, and 5.
Julius Randle,
he's our 5th best player.
We haven't talked about him yet in the postseason yet today, have we? You conveniently left that out of your last video, didn't you?
I'm trying to be more positive, man.
That's right. You're trying to be more positive.
Everyone's calling me a hater for saying that Julius Randle doesn't have a good postseason history.
Well, I can be a hater. That's my job here.
CPJ in the building. What up, dog? What up, Cord? What's up, man? What's up, everybody in the building? We had over 140 people watching. Shout out to y'all. If you haven't yet, hit that thumbs up icon. Let's go. Mark says Randle can't play 5 when he's actually trying on defense, one of the best. The problem is at all times it looks like he's going half speed, doesn't rotate, doesn't help defend. Coaches literally target
Well,
him.
according to him, he's willing to buy in on the defensive end this year.
New year.
New year, new Randle. You know, we're going into year 11, but yeah, he's going to magically become a fantastic defender.
Willing. I just want willing.
Willing.
I just need a willing defender.
If you're a willing defender on this Knicks team, you're going to be a good defender because it's just a fantastic team defense.
And exactly. You've got the best defensive head coach in the NBA. You got 2 elite wing defenders. They're not going to ask Julius Randle to do a lot. Just do what you're supposed to do. Yeah. Just don't leave your teammates out to dry on defense.
Well, the issue is he can't guard Porzingis. You better hope he's not healthy.
He's going to get in the chest of that Latvian.
That is true. Like, Julius Randle could go out there and hurt
Porzingis.
Porzingis.
Get up under him and make him uncomfortable.
Yeah, that was crazy. But yes, that is how you should want to attack Chris Porzingis. You should want to get into his chest.
Push him off his spot.
Yes.
CPJ says, I got to see it to believe it. We just broke down what Tom Thibodeau said to NBA.com. He said Julius Randle could play 10 to 15 minutes a night at the center position. He also talked about how OG and Josh Hart allow the Knicks to have versatility on defense. What are you going to say?
I just love Levi's the best comment.
What did he say?
He says, KP has nothing on Stefulius Carandle.
That's an elite name.
Stefulius is unbelievable.
Randall's crazy.
That's good stuff, man.
God, I love this shit. John Pettit says best team Randall has ever had around him since Kentucky. It is. Since Kentucky, this is the best team Julius Randle's ever played on.
That Kentucky team was ass.
I think they were undefeated.
They were the 8th seed in the NCAA tournament.
Was that the next year they went undefeated?
The year before, Anthony Davis's team. That team was stacked. Or he was 2 years before that. In between was Nerlens Noel. They didn't even make the tournament. And then Julius Randle went to the Natty.
It was the next year when it was Booker, the Harrison twins, and Cat.
Yeah, that was the undefeated
They were
team.
undefeated.
Yes.
Like
Anthony Davis's team was undefeated for a long time, too. But Randall's team, they really had a lot of the same
They got
components.
to the Final Four, though.
They got to the national championship.
Oh, yeah, they lost to UConn.
Yeah. And
the next year they lost to Wisconsin.
Yeah. James Young was on that squad, high flyer.
James Young, Celtics ledge.
Oh, my God.
That left-hand dunk in the tourney was crazy.
Yeah, that's his only highlight of his entire basketball career at any level.
He was playing in the
Playing the TBT?
TBT.
Oh, with Calipari's whatever team, with the Big Blue Nation, with Willie Cauley-Stein. That's
the
electric.
Twins. Yeah.
That's kind of electric.
John Pettit says you will see a different Randle this year, regular season and postseason beast mode. I think that we're going to see the best regular season of Julius Randle's career.
And that doesn't necessarily mean that he's going to have the best statistical output of his career. Because that's not going to be the case.
We don't need 25 points from Randle anymore. Give me 18, 10, and 5 off 50% from the deck and 35% from 3. Just every shot you're going to take is going to be damn near wide open. You don't need to take any deep step back mid-range twos anymore.
But you know you're going to see him.
New year, new Randle.
You know he's going to be shooting
new
those
year, new Randle,
That
dude.
21-footer is coming, brother.
But, like, legitimately, he should be layups and threes.
It should be. And that's the way, like, maybe that sounds like it's Tom Thibodeau's philosophy. If he's evolving with the league, it's layups and threes. It's 5 out. It's layups and threes. That's how the Celtics won a championship.
I don't need ISO Randle, and and I'm not trying to be disrespectful. Like, it is a contract year, Kenya. That could be scary for the Celtics. Contract year for Julius.
Yeah.
Are you worried about that?
That is, listen, there's
nothing better than a contract year for a player.
No player loves his city more than a man in a contract year.
This man was going to Yankees games all summer.
He doesn't like baseball.
He hasn't taken off that Yankee hat all summer.
He wants to get paid. No, that it's low-key scary, though, honestly, because, like, that tells me that he's looking to go get that $60 million max from the Knicks. He wants to.
He's paying him 60.
He wants to implode this team by getting his bag.
He definitely didn't take that extension for a reason. I'll tell you that much. Oh, Lordy.
Levi's asking me where's Boston pulling all this money from. Wick Grusbeck's dad left his credit card, his Amex, on the table, and Wick stole it.
Yeah, that's why they're having to sell the team, because they don't have the money that they've already committed to players.
No. Not that they don't have the money, but that he stole the money basically from his father.
Oh, is that actually true?
Yeah, like he basically just like went behind his father's wishes and just paid everybody, and now his dad's telling him to sell his shares of the team because of it.
Oh, Lordy.
Everybody's paid though, baby. I don't care. Somebody's gonna pay the money.
Hilarious.
Bezos will buy him.
Bezos would be tough. Robert Becker says, "Hey Marsh, make Smitty do a Celtics versus Knicks game with you this year." I'm sure he will.
I'm sure
he will. Will says, love Randle, but we all know that pump fake running to the side, fading away into the third row is coming out. I wouldn't wish that on my worst friend, Will. Jaden, what's up, man? He says, Marshall, let's say we have to trade Randle. I don't want to, but if he wants the max, we may have to. Three-way trade. Pistons get Randle, Knicks get Jeremy Grant and Duren. Blazers get some picks.
I'd be lit, honestly.
If you can get Jalen Duren and Jeremy Grant, yeah, I would do it, but I don't know how you make that happen.
Grant makes similar money to Randle.
Yeah. Portland would be having to take back $30 million in salary, so it'd probably have to be Randle going to Portland yeah. And then a lot of picks going to Detroit. Something like that. Knicks fan 13, what's up? He said, did you hear about Big Ski? Yep.
Oh, yeah.
We did, yep.
I'm unfamiliar with his game.
Was it an Exhibit 9 deal, or what did they say it was?
It was a training camp deal,
yeah. So Exhibit 9, Exhibit 10. He
had
some good moments for the Knicks in the Summer League. There are training camp offers. Exhibit 10.
What's the difference between 9 and 10, though?
So Exhibit 10 has some G League ties to it.
Oh, that's
you
right.
You may be able to keep them and then go to the G League. Exhibit 9 is more for veteran players, and it kind of gives the team some security on the back end when it comes to injuries.
Oh, okay.
So they're a little bit different. Essentially, they are training camp invites.
Give the younger guys Exhibit 10s and older guys Exhibit 9s. Like
that's how I have understood it from looking it up this past week because the Knicks signed too.
Yeah, I never looked into that.
Knicks 15. I'm sorry, we have to trade Randle. Huge ego and doesn't play defense.
Listen, you are pigeonholed now. There's no. I really don't think there's a Randle trade out there this year. I don't think there is. And I don't think that you want to risk it, even.
Because you're not going to get back player or players that are going to be better or, I think, raise the ceiling of this team right now. Like, his trade value is down. Like, let's be honest. He's coming off another surgery, following another surgery, and he's going to be 30 in November, and it's a contract year. Like, you're going to be getting pennies on the dollar, in my opinion, of Randle, and I've always maintained, if I'm trading Randle, I want someone back that is just as good or a better fit. And I'm just not sure where that trade is. I have spent hours this offseason looking for it. Made a whole video, 7 trade destinations last week. I didn't really like any of them except for DeAndre Ayton, and even that I don't love.
Ooh, I'm going to get this pulled over right now.
All the new City jerseys just dropped.
Oh, they did? Is the Knicks the white one?
The
white
Knicks,
with the pinstripes?
I'm looking. The Knicks is it's just the rewrap of last year's with white.
Well, yeah. So the Knicks, the last year's jerseys that were black, or no, blue, they were resemblance.
Oh no, these Celtics jerseys are awful.
Good.
Oh, I'll pull this. I'll pull this up.
We'll pull them up. The jerseys the Knicks wore last year.
The classic, the Kith ones, right? Aren't those inspired by Kith?
Yeah, he's the one who made them.
Yeah, that's what I
Or
thought.
made them, and he was a part of the creative process.
That's cool.
Yummy. Because this one has the Celtics and the Knicks in there. Funny enough, it's a grouping photo. Like 30 seconds. Julius Randle at the 5. Isn't that hilarious?
So the Knicks, the jersey. I just got a message from somebody. Sorry.
Oh, you're good.
The Knicks, the jerseys. Jesus Christ, lock in. The jerseys the Knicks wore last year that resembled the late '90s jerseys with the black on the side. The jerseys the Knicks are wearing this year are just, instead of blue, they are white, same pinstripes. I think it's a blue stripe on the side now. Yeah. So these are the Knicks alternates. They're wearing these. They'll have the navy blues again that I don't really like. But
you don't like the navy blues?
They're okay.
They're just different. They're not really.
We're not
Knicks.
navy.
They're not. Yeah, the Knicks aren't navy. They never have been.
We've never been navy.
And the Celtics have never worn that green in their. Those are awful.
Ugh.
They're fucking awful. I mean, at least they're not the 6th grader Brooklyn Nets ones to the left of them. But holy shit, those are bad.
Oh my gosh. What's up, Melpster?
The blue was way better. Yeah, the Raptor.
You can't really see it. There's going to be those thin pinstripes again
Yeah.
for the Knicks ones. Is that what does that say? H-Town?
H-Town, yeah, it looks like that.
Is this Clippers?
That looks like Royals, which would be the Kings, right?
Yeah. Brooklyn's look
Oh no,
terrible.
that's Grizzlies. That's Grizzlies up top right.
Is that Lakers in top middle? Or Dallas?
Mavs, and then the Raptors one has just the dinosaur on it, putting it through the. Oh, it's a Vince Carter version. The Raptors putting the ball through the legs.
That's tough.
That's actually tough. Oh, Levi thinks they ruined the dinosaur. Oh, I actually messed with that San Antonio one. The San Antonio jersey on the left there is actually like a light teal, like a light aqua. It's not white. But that Celtics jersey is one of the worst I've ever seen in my life. Oh my god. Yeah, it's H-Town at the bottom. Let's see who actually has good ones here. Mess with OKCs. They always have good stuff. The Magics actually look pretty good.
Grade the Knicks jersey.
Yeah,
Grade the Knicks jersey. A, B, C, D, or F.
Minnesota, they're still doing that nonsense version. I hate that. A lot of these are just seem like reflips, like making the colored versions white from last year. Charlotte just didn't even change theirs unless they're just haven't released it yet. Phoenix's is pretty cool. Golden State I actually kind of like. The Lakers is awful. Bucks keep the same blue ones. Kings are actually pretty cool. Clippers, nothing.
CPJ, you're giving it a B?
What's it? Yeah. I think it was a better with the blue. Ooh. And they did the heat culture ones again, just in red.
Heat culture?
It's terrible.
That shit's worn out.
Shit is so worn out.
Bro, they're irrelevant.
What's the heat culture? Being an 8 seed?
Getting to the play-in?
Like getting the
When's the last time the Heat weren't in the play-in?
No, it's literally a play-in culture over there. Shout out to Knicks15, send in the $2 super chat.
Knicks 15! Says, what happens if Mitch gets seriously injured again? The Knicks are screwed. And they have to go out and make a move. And if you know that the Knicks need to make a move at center, you're going to have to overpay. That's why I have said the Knicks need to be active and not proactive. But I just get yelled at for being an idiot all the time.
You're a hater.
Exactly.
You're a hater. You're so negative.
Yeah, look, if Mitchell Robinson gets hurt, we're in a bad spot. We really are.
Do we trade Mitch if he does? You can't.
Yeah,
Who's
no one's
trading
going to
for
take
him?
an injured Mitchell Robinson in the trade.
I'm not gonna lie. Celtics got so lucky giving up Malcolm Brogdon and Robert Williams for Drew Holiday because both of those guys are injured. I don't think that'll ever happen again. Levi said we are cooked if that happens.
Yeah, no, it's not good if he gets hurt.
Fans have no idea how great of a season Huck Porty will have as a Mitch backup. He will win in training camp. Nick Yak, are you a Huck Porty burner?
There's nothing more that I love than the love that Knicks fans have for rookies.
I'm not seeing enough love for Kolek, though. Is he going to crack the rotation this year? I would think not, but
I would give him some burn, at least as the season goes on.
you know what you have with Campaign.
Yeah.
You don't know what you have with Tyler Kolek. Who knows? You can surprise some people.
Like, all he needs to do is control the ball, push the pace, get the ball to shooters.
It's not like Campaign's going to play any defense.
Yeah.
So, wow, Marsh, Ariel Huck Porty hater. Just like that.
Exactly. Marsh not giving the last pick of the draft a chance.
Marsh says, Knicks fans love rookies. Marsh is an Ariel Huck Porty hater.
Justin says, trade a guard for a center, fill in a need.
Who you trading? You trading Deuce?
I mean, look.
That's the only guard of value you can trade. And you're not trading DiVincenzo.
You're not trading DiVincenzo, that is for sure.
Yeah, there's just not a lot of room out there. I mean, the Knicks, in my opinion, somebody made a good point And it's not like a point to be made right now, but you rock with Mitch as long as you can in the regular season. You go find a guy if there's a guy at the deadline, you can try to make a move, but there are guys that are released and on the buyout market
be some buyout
every
players.
season. That's where the Knicks are going to have to go get their guy. Are they still going to have the mid-level then, or does that expire?
I honestly do not know. I've been trying to figure it out if that taxpayer mid-level exception expires. I don't know. I really don't. But look, last 2 years, we've seen the Knicks make 2 in-season trades that have changed their season. Josh Hart and then OG Anunoby. I'm not going to be shocked if another big trade happens.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't know what it is.
Maybe Randle plays himself into a better trade.
I don't know. I don't know what they're going to do.
But the problem with that is his contract's up. Like, any team that's trading for Randle at the deadline is trading for a rental.
And I don't think they do that deal unless they know that handshake, wink, wink, you're resigning.
Yeah.
Like, why would I trade for Julius Randle if I don't know he's going to resign?
Exactly.
And that happens all the time in the NBA. All the time.
That's why the Warriors were going to trade for Pascal Siakam at the deadline, and he told him he wasn't going to resign.
Exactly.
Which is crazy. You want to play in Indiana instead.
All righty. Let's talk about my X-Factor for this year. And really a guy that I just think needs some more love from Knicks fans. He's the most likable guy on the team, in my opinion, outside of Jalen Brunson and Josh Hart. Works his tail off. Like, when you talk about someone putting in the work and reaping the rewards, this guy is that to a T. So we'll talk about that. Kind of just a little hype video for him. I'm excited to talk about this one. I'm excited to talk about this one. How do I want to start this? All right, let's do it. Deuce McBride has been putting in a lot of work this offseason, trying to improve his game, and I believe that he is only going to get better this year, and he might be the biggest X factor for the Knicks coming up in the 2024 NBA season. I want to give a major shout out to my guy, Jawan Staten. Let me use that video. That is his trainer. Let me show the video. That's a lot of love. Shout out to him. Show him some love in the comments section. Give him a follow on Twitter. And make sure you also show my guy, Deuce McBride, some love. Type those twos down in the comment section for Deuce. You're watching Knicks Now by Chat Sports. I am your host, Marshall Green. I appreciate everybody for stopping by as we are getting closer and closer and closer to the start of the 2024 NBA season. Shout out once again to Jawan Staten Sr., NBA trainer. He works out with Deuce McBride. He's been helping him getting his bag all summer long. And the things that we saw in this video, Deuce McBride working on, are things that I think are going to take his game to another level. That pull-up jumper in transition. He can add that. Then a counter move off the pull-up in transition. And then a guy just getting downhill and continuing to improve his game in the paint. If he can pull off a pull-up 3 in transition, a one-dribble pull-up off the pump fake from 3 in the mid-range, Deuce McBride is going to add another element to this offense. I believe he is going to be maybe the biggest X factor for the Knicks this year, because not only is he just an elite weapon on the defensive end, what he has done to grow as a player on offense, it cannot be ignored. And one thing that I know all New Yorkers love, one thing that I know all New York Knicks fans can appreciate is hard work, is grit and grind, putting in the work. That is what Deuce McBride did. The guy played in the G League this year, and he also played for the big league Knicks. Deuce McBride is the product of hard work, and putting in work equals production. And that is Miles McBride. Look at his career stats and the evolution of his career. His rookie season, he played in 40 games, barely played any minutes, and he shot just 25% from downtown. And the next year, put in the work, got better, up to 29.9% from downtown. And then what about the next year? Up to 41% from three. The work is evident in the results. The catch and shoot three-point percentage from Deuce McBride continues to rise at a extremely high rate. 27.8% on catch and shoot threes in his rookie year, 32% in his sophomore season, and then his third year in the NBA this past year, 42.2% on catch and shoot threes. That is at an extremely high number, and it's one of the higher numbers of guards off the bench in the NBA. But it's not just his ability to become a deep three-point shooter, a catch-and-shoot guy. He is someone that has improved tremendously at attacking the basket and getting the ball to fall on creative layups. How many times in the postseason do we see him go to the lane and he's throwing up almost like a left-handed skyhook off the top of the glass? 2 years ago, or I guess that was, 2 years ago, he shot 51% on layups. This past year, he almost shot 60% on layups. And when his number is called, when he has to be inserted into the starting lineup, he finds a way to produce. In 14 starts last year, Miles McBride averaged 17.9 points per game, 4.1 dimes, and he had an electric shooting stretch. North of 45% for the field and north of 40% from downtown. The ability for when a guy like Jalen Brunson gets hurt, or a guy like Mikal Bridges gets hurt, or OG Anunoby, or last year, DiVincenzo or Hart, you could throw in Deuce McBride, and he's not going to miss a beat in the starting lineup. Look, he played 19 and a half minutes per game in the regular season. He saw that jump to 26.7 minutes per game in the playoffs. Deuce McBride was a major piece of the postseason success that the New York Knicks had last year. He shot 37% from three. I believe that is only going to get better. Why do I believe, though, that he's the X-Factor for the Knicks? Because when he plays and he produces, outside of Brunson, Hart, OG, in my opinion, he's got maybe the strongest sway on Knicks wins. The Knicks were 13-5 last year when Deuce made 3 threes in a game. The Knicks were 16-9 when Deuce made 2+ threes in a game. When Deuce plays, the Knicks win. When Deuce hits shots like he did all year last year, the Knicks, they win a lot of games. The craziest thing about today's video is we haven't even talked about the impact that he makes on the defensive end. We showed you his shooting numbers, his improvement as a shooter, his improvement as a scorer, his growth as someone that can finish around the basket. But his number one tool in his bag is being an elite defensive player. He did that against Tyrese Maxey in the playoffs when the Knicks needed it. He did that against Tyrese Halliburton in the playoffs when the Knicks needed it. And he also did it against the best point guard in NBA history in the regular season. Those stats around the corner. But first, I got to give a major shout out to today's sponsor, Prize Picks. If you like playing daily fantasy sports, do it with Prize Picks. It's prizepicks.com/CLNS. And if you use that promo code CLNS and put a $5 lineup in, they're going to give you $50 for free. You win big money, and you can withdraw your winnings at any time. Right now, Prize Picks already has some season-long lineups that you can go out and play. So if you want to be there before the season starts, you can go ahead and do that right now. But they have football, baseball, basketball, NASCAR, college football, college baseball, college basketball. They've got it all at Prize Picks. And that's where you should go. prizepicks.com/CLNS, promo code CLNS. Be a real one. Support the show. Support the sponsor. Turn $5 into $50 for free. prizepicks.com/CLNS, promo code CLNS. Everyone knows that Deuce McBride is an elite defender. That's why I wanted to start today's video talking about his offense and the growth there and him putting in the work on that as well. But we also can't sleep on the weapon that Deuce McBride is, that Tom Thibodeau has in his back pocket. Anytime a guard gets hot, anytime a perimeter scorer starts to heat up, Deuce McBride is able to go out there and make a major, major impact. What about the game from this past spring where the New York Knicks played the Golden State Warriors and they won? Miles McBride held Stephen Wardell Curry, the best point guard ever, the best shooter of the basketball to ever walk this earth, 4 of 13. He held Curry to 4 of 13 with 1 assist and 2 forced turnovers. But it wasn't just the defense that he gave him. He also scored 29 points on 9 of 13 from the field. What about in the playoffs? Shout out to Tommy Beer. We're going to go to a couple of his tweets today. one of the best accounts on Knicks Twitter. Give him a follow. He is awesome, 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 and a super nice dude. Per NBA tracking data, in the 81 possessions in which Deuce McBride has been the primary defender on Halliburton this series, Tyrese Halliburton is 4 of 12, including 0 of 5 from downtown, and has not dished out a single assist. What about this? In contrast, in the 142 combined minutes Halliburton is matched up against either DiVincenzo, Hart, Brunson, the Pacers' point guard is shooting 52% with 9 assists. Miles McBride, he had him in cuffs. But he did it all regular season, too. In the 98 minutes, Deuce McBride has this is still the postseason, excuse me. In the 98 minutes, Deuce McBride has been on the floor in this series, talking about Series 1 against the Sixers. New York has outscored Philly by 29 points. The Knicks were plus 29 with Deuce McBride in the game. The Knicks were minus 25 when Deuce McBride was not in the game. What about in the regular season? Dating back to mid-March, there are 3 players averaging more than 19 points per game while shooting more than 50% from the field and over 45% from downtown. LeBron James, Paul George, and Miles McBride. Deuce! Shout out to Deuce McBride, man. A product of hard work. He puts in the work. He reaps the reward. And he is more than just a happy success story of a guy that was drafted in the second round, earned a roster spot, grew up in the G League, started to play in the regular season. No, he's more than that. He is a weapon off the New York Knicks bench. Anytime Tom Thibodeau feels as if he needs a defensive stopper out there, go play Deuce. Deuce can go play with Jalen Brunson. He could play, I think he's more of an off-ball player, but he can sometimes play that point guard spot. He could play with Brunson. I want to see him play more with Brunson. He is going to be, once again, really good this year. And he's also on maybe the best bargain deal outside of Jalen Brunson in the NBA. Deuce McBride's making $4.3 million this year. Deuce McBride is making $3.9 million next year. He is 23 years old. It is criminal how underpaid he is. He needs to fire his agent. He needs to get a new one. And if you're a Knicks fan and you can sponsor this guy in the city, go throw him a bag because he absolutely deserves it. My one thing that I am a little bit worried about with Deuce this year is, does he get squeezed a little bit out of the rotation? With the addition of Mikal Bridges, and now OG in the fold for the full year, and Randle back, and Hart, and DiVincenzo going to the bench, how much tick is a guy like Miles McBride going to get this season? Because I think the Knicks signed campaign for a reason, to be that veteran point guard off the bench. We've talked about it before. The Knicks view Miles McBride as more of a wing in a guard's body than a point guard. And shout out to my guy Mensa, does some contributor work for Knicks Film School. Super nice dude. Give him a follow. He's awesome on Twitter, one of the smartest Knicks guys I know. And this is his tweet today, and I thought it made perfect sense. He said if we see 12 minutes of Julius at the 5, he thinks this is what the rotation could look like. Jalen Brunson, 35 minutes a game at the point guard spot, with Deuce McBride playing 13 off the bench. And also with Mikal Bridges playing 12 minutes at the 2, he thinks DiVincenzo could play 28. Josh Hart, 8 at the 2. OG, 20 at the 3, with Mikal Bridges, 22 at the 3, with Josh Hart playing 6 minutes at the 3. Then Julius Randle, 24 minutes at power forward. OG plays 13. Josh Hart plays 11, with Mitchell Robinson playing 28 minutes at center. Julius, 12, and Pritchard at 8. Only thing I would say is, are we sure that campaign is not going to play at all? I don't know. We're going to find out. What I know for sure, though, is Deuce McBride will be better this season because he's been putting in work all off season long. And he's only going to get better. He's 23 years old, and he wants to make sure that next contract he gets isn't a value deal. It's only increasing his pockets because that's absolutely what he deserves. Make sure you are following me on social media. I'm on Twitter at @MarshallGreen_. We're on Instagram at @MarshallGreen_. Hit me up over there, and let's go Knicks!
All that just to get clamped up by Holiday.
He's clamping up your players.
That's true. No, listen, I'm a college basketball guy. For those who don't know, I'm a huge college basketball fan. I picked West Virginia to win the Natty.
When they had Deuce?
When they had Deuce. I was the biggest Deuce McBride fan in the world that season.
Who would you rather have?
They lost in the fucking first round.
Did they really?
Yes. Who's either first or second round?
I picked Marcus Smart at Oklahoma to win the Natty, and they lost in
really?
the first round. Yeah.
He was electric in college too.
Contracts factoring in, who would you rather have? Deuce McBride or Peyton Pritchard?
The thing is, Peyton Pritchard is on a very valuable contract as well. He's only making $7 million a year, but that's double what Deuce is getting next year, which, by the way, front-loading his contract as a fucking 21-year-old, what is wrong with you?
Leon Rose is a genius.
What the hell kind of voodoo magic is that?
A descending contract for a young player is kind
For a kid my age? What are we doing? Fire that agent.
The agent has to go.
He's got to go. He stinks.
Oh, my God. No, I like Peyton Pritchard's game a lot.
Pritchard's good. I mean, it's probably McBride. I mean, as far as just being a pure on-ball defender. But, I mean, Peyton Pritchard is a much better commander of an offense.
Yeah, he's more of a guard.
He can slow shit down.
Deuce is a wing that's 6'3".
Yeah.
6'2", maybe. I don't know the official height. I'd say probably 6'2".
He's probably 6'2".
Yeah. NY to AZ.
What up?
$10 super chat. I'm glad the jersey showed up. I'm sorry it took so long. The head of our shipping department quit, so that threw a real wrench in getting our products out to our viewers.
Yep.
But
mailroom was packed up.
Mailroom was packed up. Now CEO of the company has turned into the mailman. So shout out to him. Shout out to you. Always supporting the channel. Glad the jersey showed up. It says if you are rocking with Knicks Now by Chat Sports, you are a real one. Hit the like and subscribe to get all the latest content. That's mad love.
That is mad love.
That's mad love. We appreciate you, man. You're always here. You're always showing love. And that's all I can ask for. That's all I can ask for. I can't wait for the season, man.
It's going to be a great time.
I'm already done with the Giants, so I'm ready for the season. I'm ready.
A Celtics fan, a friend of mine, just texted me. They gotta get whoever's designing our city jerseys and lock them up. Because these are horrific, man.
I didn't think they looked very good either.
When have they ever used neon green? What is this? This is gross, y'all.
And the neon stripe with the little green right.
Who are we, the Pacers?
Green. What is that?
What is this shit?
Why is there just a small triangle sliver of Celtic green then with the neon green?
They're going to try to, find a reason of, historical significance for this triangle stripe that just looks like shit. This is the worst jersey I've ever seen in my life. I'm going to be pissed off watching them wear it. I've actually never hated a Celtics jersey either. That's the first time.
I don't want to jinx us here.
What's up?
Are we kind of cooking on the software?
Software's there. We just haven't gotten any.
We haven't done a call yet.
We haven't done a call yet. So I mean, we could throw the call out there right now and see if they start populating.
I will say this: our software is having a really hard time pulling your questions up on screen. I want to do a mailbag. I want to answer your questions. So please, if I could have all 112 people right now, go down in the comments and use hashtag Knicks to ask a question. If our software works, we'll do a mailbag. If our software does not work, we can't do a mailbag. So work with me. Do me a favor. If I could have everybody ask a question about the Knicks, a comment, concern, thought, take, whatever it is, in the chat right now, and include hashtag Knicks, we'll do a mailbag if it works. If you don't want to do a mailbag, you don't want to ask your questions, we'll just bounce on out of here. We'll get off early. That's cool. But I love doing these mailbags, and I want to chop it up with y'all. So right now, hashtag Knicks in the comments, including a question, and we'll be able to see what's up. Jason B., my man.
JB.
Shout out to Jason B. Hope you're having a good summer, man. Love seeing the chat. That shit fires me up. This is Marsh. I'm glad Randle is here and think spot minutes at center is good. With D, help from OG or Hart. This doesn't solve center problem, but can bridge the gap. Let's go! I agree. And I like the idea that Tom Thibodeau is willing at least a little bit, Jason, to evolve, because that is not in Tom Thibodeau's DNA to play Julius Randle at the center spot. And it definitely gives you an advantage on offense, but it does have its cons on defense. And I like the part that you mentioned right there with help from OG or Hart. Also, Mikal Bridges. He's not as big as those guys, but I would, outside of OG and Anunoby and Mitchell, exclude the centers. Mikal Bridges might have one of the longer wingspans on the team. It's definitely longer than T-Rex Julius Randle, and it's longer than Josh Hart as well. Let's not forget Mikal Bridges was also a second-team all-defensive player at one point with the Phoenix Suns. I think he was top 10 in DPOY as well.
There was that one season where he was getting legitimate talk about Defensive Player of the Year.
Yeah, look, I still worry about our center spot, Jason B. How could we not, with Mitchell Robinson being the only guy I really like to start a playoff series, especially when he's been injury-prone. But I do want to see a little bit of an experiment of Julius Randle playing that center spot. I do. Jason B., I can't wait for game days. And just thanks for always being here. Thanks for always supporting the channel. It's been, 3 years now at this point? That means a lot to me.
That's
It really
love.
does. We're going to try to do this mailbag. So I'm going to ask everybody, shout out to Levi's the Best. Shout out to Knicks fans. Shout out to Justin. And then Levi's the Best again coming in with those questions. If everybody could ask a question right now, we might be able to do this mailbag.
Levi throwing some shots at me. Smitty, I just want to say McCall is better than Derek White. I hope he is. He got paid more than Derek White originally, not anymore, but originally.
Imagine Mikal Bridges playing Derek White's role.
Be great.
Yeah.
Be very nice.
It's easy when all you got to do is play defense and catch and shoot threes.
He is elite at doing that, though.
Yeah, he's good at that, but, he could never be a number 1 or number 2.
No, but what
I don't
happened
even
when
think he'd be number
McCall
3.
Bridges was the number 1? They're fucking 30 and 50.
Give him
What
some
are we
help.
doing? What are we doing here?
He got him to the playoffs, I think, one year.
What?
When they traded for him from Phoenix.
Because they had Durant for 40 games. Did they even make the playoffs that year? He probably got him out of there.
I think he did. He did make the playoffs. Shout out to Michael getting a question in. Shout out to Ian. Do you think the Knicks will win a game? I do, Ian. I do think the Knicks will win at least one game this year.
They're going to win a game. A couple.
Nah, NY2AZ. Thank you, Alvin. Mike G! What's up, man?
Jaden Rossi, I would love that. It's just not really in the books. I think it would be the coolest thing in the world if we could do that.
What?
Call-ins.
Oh, I know.
It would be the sickest thing ever. It would really make the live shows a lot more, I guess, fun.
Give it a more New York feel.
Yeah. Listen,
Kenya, we did sign Marcus Morris, brother. We did.
now,
To a training camp deal.
Yeah, I think the question is or did the Knicks sign Marcus Morris? I guess that's Kenya's question. But the Knicks fan said, do you think the Knicks are going to sign Marcus Morris?
He's going to have to earn a roster spot in training camp.
Mini Mello.
He's going to have to earn a roster spot in training camp.
All right, I'm gonna take a look now to see if these are all here. They're all here.
All right, last call. Hashtag Knicks or Super Chat. Get your questions in. There were at least a couple of Super Chats. Jason B's.
Yeah, Jason.
And that's
B's
really
making-
it.
yeah.
And Knicks 15.
Yes. So those are going to be in there.
Mike G, this is the channel with hope. This is where you get positive, happy Marsh, because I just can't fake it, dude. I can't. And the boss is telling me to be happy or be blah, 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 blah. I'm going to be me. It's worked out pretty well so far. I can't lie to you guys and tell you the Giants are good when they're not. Who would want? I want to. The only content I listen to is people that inform me and entertain me.
Teach me something
teach
new.
me something. I wouldn't want to watch someone that sits up there and tells you that the Giants, everything's okay.
It's not.
Because it ain't, baby. Can we get a Daniel Jones NBA terms and Tua needs retire?
Killian Hayes.
He's.
Nah, it's like when the Knicks pay Joe Camnella, to be honest. Set the roster back. Set the team back 5 years.
Do we hate this one?
Okay.
This you will know. It won't 100% hit home because he was actually good and he played his role. But it gives me some Marcus Smart vibes a little bit. Some Marcus Smart vibes. He was there too long. Just move on.
Oh, okay. I see. Yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah, Smart was good, but
Smart was deep boy.
Yeah, it's the weakest deep boy ever, though.
But in the big moments, he never showed up.
He tried to be the hero in the last 2 minutes, and you're not, brother.
Why did Marcus Smart always take the big shots for the Celtics?
The reason that the Celtics didn't lose sooner to the Heat than they did last year, or not last year, but the year before, was because Marcus Smart decided to huck up a 3-ball with 2 seconds left, and somehow it just toilet bowls around and Derek White's in the right place, right time. Why is Marcus Smart taking that shot?
He's got maybe a little Timofey Mozgov action for DJ.
Timofey Mozgov, yeah, I mean, because he got the bag and that set the Lakers back a couple of years.
Yeah.
But no, the Knicks signing Joakim Noah.
But Noah was great before that.
That's true.
He's MVP. I don't know who.
Knicks signing Bargnani.
I don't know who the Daniel Jones NBA comp would be.
Well, think about a player who has been given too long of a leash for such a long time, and there's been no results.
Who is that in the NBA?
Like low-key, like Brandon Ingram.
Yeah.
Brandon Ingram has he been an all-star?
He's actually a stud.
You're an Ingram guy?
He's had some really good years.
He has. Daniel Jones had a really good year. One time.
15 touchdowns.
2,800 yards or whatever it was.
Oh man. All right, let's do this mailbag before it poops out. And then we're gonna peace out of here. Shout out to everybody in the building. Look, there's a million other things you could be doing today, and you're here listening to me yap about the Knicks as we're a month away from the regular season with nothing going on. That's love. That's love. What's up, Brightest Future? What up? Who in the exhibit contracts would you sign to a fully guaranteed contract? That's a great question.
Use hashtag, or is it on there?
Yeah. Just throw up the...
I just want to see if make sure that one's in here. Because I like that question. It is. Beautiful.
You just throw up the depth chart with that just so I can get a clean look at it.
Sure.
All righty. Let's do it. Buddy Bear's here. What up, Buddy Bear? You're watching Knicks Now by Chat Sports. I am your host, Marshall Green. On today's video, it's mailbag time, as we are just going to answer questions from loyal subscribers. We went live earlier in the week. If you missed it, you didn't get your question on the show, that's your fault. Change it. Hit that subscribe button right now. Turn on your notifications so you never miss anything surrounding your New York Knicks. Knicks 15 came in with a $2 super chat. Mad Love Big Dog says, what happens if Mitchell Robinson gets seriously injured this year? The Knicks are in a bad spot. Like, if Mitchell Robinson gets hurt this year and you didn't make a trade prior to that, I'm not going to say that's a dagger through the heart of the season, but it's at least a little punch to the gut. Like, you got Precious Achiuwa, you got Jericho Sims, you got Ariel Huck-Porty, potentially, who's on a two-way contract. There's a reason I've done 15 videos on the Knicks needing to trade a center. There's a reason we continue to talk time and time again about the Knicks needing to improve at that center spot. Because you want to be active, or you want to be proactive, what's the term there? You want to be proactive? You want to be proactive before a bad situation arises. Everyone in the Knicks front office knows that Mitchell Robinson is injury prone. And if he gets hurt again and he's out for the season, other teams are going to force you to overpay for a center. It cracks me up when people say your Huck-Porty disrespect is crazy. How is it disrespectful by saying he's on a two-way contract? If anything, be mad at the Knicks for not giving him a max contract. Because that's how good I think some of y'all think he is. Look, you're in a bad spot if Mitch gets hurt. You really, really are. Jason B., my guy, he says, Marsh, I'm glad Randle is here and thinks spot minutes at center is good. With defensive help from OG or Hart, this doesn't solve center problem but can bridge the gap. Let's go. I agree. And Tom Thibodeau said that Julius Randle could see 10 to 15 minutes a game this year at that center spot. And look, that could bridge the gap a little bit. But at the end of the day, while there are a lot of pros to Julius playing center, he can score, you could play five out, you can play a modern offense. You got 5 people on the court at all times that can score. You're also going to be a little bit thin in rim protection, in defense, in rebounding, in creating second chance points on offense, which has really been the gas in the tank of the Knicks engine for a long, long time. I do like the idea of it. I do like it for small stretches. I don't want to see Julius Randle playing center for 20, 25 minutes a game, because then you're a bad defensive team, and the Knicks need to be a good defensive team if they're going to reach their ceiling with this current roster. Thank you, Jason, as always. Carl, who in the exhibit contracts would you sign to a fully guaranteed contract? So the Knicks, over the past week, they signed Campaign to an Exhibit 9 contract. They signed Marcus Morris Sr. to an Exhibit 10 contract. And they also have Chuma Okeke, I believe, on a partially guaranteed or Exhibit 9 deal. So you got 3 guys there. You could bring 21 guys to training camp. Right now, the Knicks have their 5 starters. They have their 2 backup point guards. That makes 7. They got their 3 backup guards. That makes 10. And you got Hart and Pacome Dadier. That's 12. Then Bates, Diop, Morris, and Okiki. That's 15. Then you got Achua and Sims. That makes 17. And you got 3 guys on 2-way deals. So the 3 guys we're looking at are Chuma Okiki. We're looking at Landry Shamet. And we're looking at Marcus Morris Sr. 2 of those guys are going to make this team. And I don't know who I exactly want it to be. Honestly, Shamet's probably the one I don't want the most compared to Morris, because Morris gives you another rough and rugged power forward that can still score. Chuma Okiki can be a weapon on defense, and he's young. And I think Landry Shamet can kind of just has already kind of shown who he is. He's an undersized, limited defender who can shoot, but he had a down year last year. So give me Marcus Morris and Okiki over Landry Shamet. Mike G, a stud, says, who leads the Knicks in scoring besides our fearless leader, Jaylen Brown? Oh, Lordy. Who leads the Knicks in scoring? Did he mean Jalen Brunson? I think he meant Jalen Brunson. Okay, yeah. I think it will be Jalen Brunson in points per game, then Julius Randle. Then I'm going to say Mikal Bridges, then OG Anunoby, then Dante DiVincenzo, then Josh Hart. Am I missing anyone? Brunson, Randle, Bridges, OG, Devo, Hart, then Deuce. That would be my guess of the scorers in order. Jaylen Brown, scrub. He could never play on the Knicks. He'd be our 12th man. Not as good. Jaylen Brown's really good. Really good. Best player on the Celtics, in my opinion. My question for you is this. 53.5 wins for the Knicks this year. That is the line that Las Vegas has set. I'm a gambling man. Because scared money, you don't make no money. O for over, U for under. Let me know your thoughts. Levi's the best. Are you concerned that Devo is similar to Kevin Huerter in a way that he can't come off the bench and needs to start? Look, that's a great question. Dante DiVincenzo struggled at the beginning of the year coming off the bench. Then when he got put in that starting lineup, he took off. I guess I do worry a little bit about, does less minutes and less opportunities kind of take him out of his rhythm and lower his efficiency? I honestly kind of expect the efficiency to just come down naturally this year, because he was the 3rd best shooter in the NBA last year when you factor in volume and things like that. So, yeah, I do worry a little bit that his production and efficiency will go down with less minutes, but I'm not worried to the point where, like, we got to trade Dante DiVincenzo and get a true bench score. And I also, think another year in the system, playing with Brunson, playing with Bridges, playing with Hart can help that out a little bit. So while I am concerned, I'm not extremely worried. Concerned, yes. Worried, no. Great question, though. Great question. We'll get to more good questions from diehard Knicks fans in a second. But first, if you're looking for last-minute tickets to go to an NFL game this year, or you want to get tickets this year to go watch the Knicks play for the season, download the Game Time app. Use the promo code ChatSports, and they'll give you $20 off your first purchase, where you get the best seats for the lowest prices guaranteed. Prices actually drop as the events get closer. You get to access your tickets from your phone, and you get to see your seat view in the app when looking at tickets to buy. Last-minute tickets and flash deals. The app will let you know when the best price for those tickets are going on. Use from the seats, and lowest price guaranteed. Everybody is looking for that. Take care of make sure you use and take advantage of these 2 features that they have. Game Time Picks. It makes it that much easier to go watch your favorite teams play. It isolates your feed so you only see the people you want to go see perform and play, because you can go to concerts, NBA games, NFL games, theater events, comedy shows, and so much more. And that all-in pricing feature. That's my favorite one. The price you see on the app is the price you pay. No hidden fees when you get to checkout. Because everyone knows hidden fees, they are disgusting. Download the Game Time app. Create an account. Use the promo code ChatSports, ChatSports, and get $20 off your first purchase, or terms to apply. What time is it? It's game time, baby, as we are about a month away from the NBA season tipping off. Justin, what's happening, Brody? Do you see Ariel Hukporty playing valuable minutes at the 5 if he proves some people wrong at training camp and impresses Coach Thibs? If he proves people wrong and he impresses Coach Tom Thibodeau, he will play. I just want everyone to hit the brakes a little bit on Ariel Huckporty. He was the last pick in the NBA draft. He is a rookie. I know he's played pro ball overseas. I didn't think he looked all that good in the summer league session. Had some nice moments, showed some skill, has some touch. I just think that we should let's not bank. Hey, how about this? Let's have no expectations for him this year. And that way, if we do get something from him, it's something we didn't expect. I don't think it's fair to expect anything really from rookies in their rookie season, especially second-round picks, especially the last guy in the guy to be. I am giving him a chance. I just said, if he proves people wrong at training camp and impresses Coach Thibodeau, like you said, then yes, he'll play. But he's got to do that. Sheesh. Knicks fan 13. What free agent should the Knicks sign and why? Man, you've probably got the best two last free agents this offseason that are left in Landry Shamet and Marcus Morris. If there's a center out there, I would go do it. I would find a way to use that taxpayer mid-level exception that pays a player $5 million. That way you can use that as a trade piece to couple that with Pritchard and his $6 million. That way you have $12 million going in outgoing salary to make a trade. It's a resource. It's an asset you can use to form a human trade exception. Maybe they sign Marcus Morris or Landry Shamet to that once they win a spot in training camp. That's something that could happen. We'll see if that does. But there's no guy I'm dying right now to go out and sign. There's just not that many great players left. And you got Deuce McBride. What do you think 2 seconds in Deuce? Gotcha. Okay. I misread that. Michael, what's up, man? What do you think 2 seconds and Deuce for Kessler? That would hurt, but I ain't got to do it. It would hurt. I love Deuce. He was very nice enough. My sister saw him out at dinner recently, and he went up to her, and they talked. And they got a picture, and she told him about the show. So we are a pro Deuce McBride show. Very nice of him to do that. They got a picture. I'm sure he was a little bit surprised that my sister knew who he was. But she's a Knicks fan. She's cool. Yes, I would trade Deuce McBride in 2 seconds for Walker Kessler. Next question. Melpster, what up, man? What's Dadier's role for the Knicks this season and for the future? Do you see him being the six-man scorer wing? No. I don't see Pacome Dadier in the rotation this year, Melpster. He could be a future face of the franchise. I hope you're right. This is a G League year for him to continue to grow and develop. He's 18 years old. He's got to continue to grow in his game. Don't see him making that much of an impact. Right? Maybe I'm wrong. Levi's, what's up, man? Do you think Precious or Jericho can make a marginal? Yeah, I do. I think Precious is going to get better this year, and Jericho can continue to get better as well. Tom Thibodeau said he likes Jericho Sims. You need everyone on your roster to be better this year than they were last year. Like, that's just the fact. You need everyone to be better. But I do think there is a jump that Jericho can make, and I do think there is a jump that Precious can make. Only thing is Precious is 6'8". He's limited at the center spot because of his height. But I do think he will continue to get better. I like Precious Achiuwa as a player. I like his game. Make sure you are following me on social media. I'm on Twitter at @MarshallGreen_, Instagram at @MarshallGreen_. Hit me up over there, and let's go Knicks! I gotta be nice to Deuce.
Gotta be nice to Deuce. We just gassed up Deuce for a 15-minute video. Like, we gotta be nice to Deuce.
But Walker Kessler would help this team a lot.
Yeah, let's not act like Walker Kessler isn't a top 10 rim protector in the league, and he's 22. Maybe 23, but still, regardless.
Friend of the show. Friend of the show,
Miles McBride. We're a Miles McBride program.
Oh, Lordy. Shout out to everybody in the building. We appreciate y'all. If you haven't hit that like button, please do so. But we're going to bounce on out of here. We've been live for an hour and a half. Been at work since 9 a.m. this morning on the dot. It's been a long day, but I wouldn't rather do anything else than get to talk Knicks with you guys. Everybody that tuned in, everybody that super chatted, everyone that liked the video, everyone that was in the chat, we love y'all. We appreciate y'all. Videos every single day the rest of the week. CPJ, you're that guy. We love y'all. We appreciate you. Less than a month till preseason. A month and 5 days till the regular season. If you're not pumped up, unsubscribe. Let's go Knicks.
Celtics win on October 22nd.
Not a chance. Let's go Knicks. We're going to win it all again.